What are some huge green flags that are often overlooked? People doing kind or generous things they don't expect praise for, like secret gifts or acts of service. That the person is actually listening to you. When they show genuine interest in you or what you're doing. They listen to you go on and on about shit they don't care about and don't understand because they know you enjoy talking about it. When you're talking with someone and they remember what you're talking about or were talking about at one point. Another one is when they remember that you've done certain things with them and bring it up from time to time. Other than that, it's the normal stuff that shouldn't be overlooked or the little things, I guess. General mindfulness. The little things you don't really notice if you don't pay attention. Pushing a chair in after sitting in it. Asking questions and being involved with you. You can learn a lot about somebody by paying attention to how they listen. And having a partner that listens is an absolutely amazing feeling. There is a huge gap between being aware of what you're saying and understanding what you're saying. A good listener is priceless. Good communication. If you can communicate really well with someone, that is huge. Quality communication between two people can be way more important in a relationship than compatibility and is huge part of good chemistry. For example, one of my friends has gone on a couple dates with this one girl and the first date they talked for 3 hours and the second date they talked for 4 hours. But he's not sure if he wants to see this girl again. Like what? When someone admits to their mistake, owning up to it and does not make an excuse for failing, but trying to better themselves through that experience, being positive about it. Someone reading a book you recommend. That's commitment of free time and respect for your word. Learns the small things about you. Admitting when they don't understand something and asking questions about it until they do. A few years ago I was at a party with a friend of mine and another friend of a friend who is a physicist who worked for a startup that produced specialized magnets for quantum computing. My friend asked the startup guy about his work and he explained it, and everybody else in the room just nodded and acted like they knew what he was talking about. But she said, "I don't understand. Can you explain that a different way?" And he did. And then she kept asking questions for quite a while. And by the end of it we actually all did understand what his company did instead of just being polite and pretending we did. And it was super interesting. A couple of people thanked her afterward basically for having the self-confidence to admit she didn't have any clue what he was talking about and not being afraid it would make her look dumb. Because the rest of us were all content to pretend we knew instead of actually taking the initiative to find out. I respected her so much for that. Complimenting others behind their backs. Treating people you don't have to treat respectfully, with respect. I'm currently an Uber Eats driver and I've found the huge contrast in the manner hospitality staff treat me when I'm picking up orders, compared to when I'm a customer. It seems because I'm not a paying customer. Service staff seem to think it's okay to treat me like shit or a lesser individual. Giving people the benefit of the doubt, and not being so quick to hate and hold grudges. One mistake or one bad day does not define a person. Honesty early on. When my husband and I started dating, I told him how much I wanted to see a certain movie, and for one of our first dates, he invited me over to watch said movie, and said he'd make dinner for me. I was a little nervous to go, because I figured he'd meant watch a movie. I get inside, he's got pasta cooking, and the movie is all set up and ready on his TV. We ate terrible pasta, watched a movie, and that was the day I decided to keep seeing him, but that I'd do the cooking. Being okay to tell you that they're nervous or scared. If a guy tells me he's either nervous or scared of something, it usually means that they like to enough to be vulnerable and open up about how they feel. Usually guys get made fun of for being nervous and even more so for being scared. But I see it as a total green flag. asking you how you're doing feeling. It was weird for me to go from a moderately abusive man and not even being bothered by it. It was normal to an amazing man, my husband. He asks me how I am and genuinely wants to know. It's done my mental health wonders to know that he actually cares about me, and it's the smallest thing he could possibly do. And since he's also a Redditor, husband, if you're reading this, I love you. Cleaning up after themselves in public when no one is looking. Asking if you ate today. I know it's super simple, but it shows they genuinely care about you and want you to know you're happy and have a full belly, or they're planning on eating you. It's a 50/50. Treating people in services jobs as equals. I never realized what I was missing until I got with my current GF. It's being able to talk about bad stuff. I had a breakdown and apologized for it. The first thing she told me is to please never apologize for feeling bad. It was such a special thing for me. And when I told people about this, they told me this is how it's supposed to be. Being able to feel bad and not be afraid they'll be any less in love with you because of it. My very first silver. I feel honored. One of the first things I realized about my now husband was that he never gossiped. Like he just never has anything mean to say about people. It really helped me stop being such a gossip over the years. Haha. Putting their rubbish in the bin when they leave a place like Macca's, Hungry Jack's, KFC, fast food places. Like honestly, a child knows how to put their rubbish in the bin. Why are you leaving your rubbish everywhere if you're a grown adult? Smiling when you make eye contact with people briefly, then you mutually smile back. Some old guy said hey to me while we were passing. That was just magical. Makes me want to do that myself. Edit. You can smile at people and not make it awkward. Smiling at people can be one of the most refreshing and socio-positive thing that you can do. If you feel uncomfortable doing it, it's fine. You will get used to it. This was a good experience. Don't comment on how an elderly person smiling at me is considered a red flag or creepy. It didn't make me uncomfortable. Being polite and friendly when they see their exes. Even better, being polite and friendly with the ex they share parenting with. I've seen way too many people shit talk the other parent in front of their kid. Respecting boundaries without being told to respect them. The friendly guy having a normal conversation with you is often the better bet than the guy who is hitting on you. How they treat ex-partners, or thought they, exes, did them wrong. No feelings of wanting revenge. One of the reasons I decided to move in with my now boyfriend. Edit. Little clarification. This isn't about shit talking in private. That's emotional and understandable if something nasty happened. This is about what the person decides to focus on then, and if they deliberately try to destroy and ruin their ex's life. Threatening and stalking and just trying everything to make it extra hard when they just want to move on. And I think this says a lot about a person in general and about how they deal with rejection and failure. If you live with people, being nice to your roommates. Potential partners hookups have some incentive to be nice to your friends. Because they know you'll probably listen to your friends if they tell you your partner sucks. But a roommate might not have that much influence over you. So a person who's just faking being considerate might drop the act around them. When we were still casually dating, my now boyfriend brought my roommate snacks just because. Always checked if we were watching the TV too loud, etc. And years later he's still one of the most considerate people I know. When you can be together without interacting. For example, my boyfriend and I love hanging out together and watching anime. But when we see one another, it's also enjoyable to know they're with you, but you can do your own thing and still enjoy their company. Perhaps you both scroll through Reddit and pause to show a funny meme to each other. In that scenario, you're just calmly relaxing and enjoying their presence.